If you are a female that is currently going to the gym and you feel like you are kind of maintaining, you're not getting any leaner, you're not really looking any different at all, I am going to break this down and explain why this might be happening to you. And the number one point is, it is most likely not because you're broken. You're probably stuck because you are unknowingly sitting in a maintenance phase. You're not really in a clear building phase and you're not really in a clear fat loss phase. And what basically happens is you end up not really getting any leaner and not really building any muscle. And if you're not really doing either of those two things, then your physique is probably not going to change at all. So I am going to show you exactly how to get out of this situation. We have got three people. We've got person A, who is currently losing fat because they are eating in a consistent calorie deficit. And that means that their calories are currently less on a consistent day-to-day basis than their output. Then we've got this person down here, and they are currently building muscle. And that is because their calorie intake is constantly above their output and they're actually training in a very well structured way to support muscle growth. And then we've got this person in the middle, and what this person is doing is maintaining. That is because there is no clear consistent deficit and there is no clear consistent surplus. And we know that in order to lose body fat, there has to be a consistent deficit. In order to build muscle, there has to be a clear consistent surplus. This is where most women get stuck. And don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with spending a little bit of time at maintenance. But if you are trying to build muscle or you're trying to lose body fat and you're stuck here, it can be really, really frustrating. So what might be happening if you're going to the gym and you're training really well, you might be spending some days in a little bit of a fat loss phase, let's say 3 days of the week in fat loss, and then you might be having a couple of days where you're actually eating more and you're switching into eating in a bit of a surplus. But if you are trying to lose fat and you're doing that, it's not going to be consistent enough to actually lose fat unless it's being done every single day. And equally, if you're only spending part of the days in a surplus and you're trying to build muscle, it's not going to be consistent enough to actually build decent muscle because you need that surplus to be consistent every single day. You can see how it's very easily done, especially if you are following a very intuitive approach where you're not perhaps tracking your calories, you're not really following any sort of structured plan. You might be spending some days in a deficit and you might be spending some days in a surplus. And that's just going to lead to you sort of maintaining over time and not making any clear progress towards either the fat loss or the building phase. A lot of women get really, really stuck in this middle phase, not making progress in either direction. So when you have clarity, you get progress. So what you want to do, if you are a woman that is currently stuck in this middle phase, is you want to pick your phase. You want to align your nutrition with that phase. And that also goes for your cardio, your recovery. That needs to be aligned with the phase you're in too. So you need to then be consistent for long enough to make progress. And you're probably looking with fat loss, a good 8 to 12 weeks of consistently being in a deficit to get fat loss progress. With building muscle, again, this takes a little bit longer, but really as a female, you're looking a good 5 to 6 months in a building phase to actually start to see yourself getting stronger, see those numbers come up and actually get some good progress with this build. And just to reiterate, there's nothing wrong with sitting at maintenance, but if you are trying to build muscle, you're trying to lose body fat, and you're feeling like you're stuck in this middle phase, it's probably because you're flip-flopping between the two without clear commitment to one specific phase. And if you want help breaking out of this maintenance phase and making really clear progress with either losing body fat or building muscle, then drop me a message below and I can send you over a roadmap which shows you exactly how to phase your journey out and how long to spend in each specific phase. And if you do want more support, then feel free to reach out, we can have a chat and get you making some progress.